The call within. Have you ever sat in a crowded room and still felt alone? Have you ever achieved something that the world called success, yet inside you felt empty? That quiet emptiness is not your weakness. It is your awakening. It is life whispering, there is more within you than you realize. Most of us spend our days running after money, recognition, possessions, and approval. And yet, no matter how much we collect, the thirst remains. Why? Because the true treasure is not outside. It is hidden inside. Meditation is the journey back to that inner treasure. It is not about renouncing the world, nor is it about sitting in silence for hours with closed eyes. It is about learning to listen to the rhythm of your own breath, to the heartbeat of your soul, to the subtle voice of truth that has been drowned by the noise of the world. Every single human being has two lives, the life they live outside and the life that exists within. Most people only know the outside life, duties, struggles, relationships, ambitions. But the inner life, the space of peace, awareness, and infinite power, remains unexplored. Meditation is the key that unlocks this hidden life. It is the bridge that connects your restless mind with your eternal self. When you pause, breathe, and go within, something miraculous happens. You begin to see that you are not your stress, not your fears, not even your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. You are the sky in which the clouds of worry pass by. You are the ocean that remains still, even when the waves crash above. Think about this. Every invention, every masterpiece, every act of greatness was born not in chaos, but in silence. Einstein discovered his theories in moments of reflection. Poets, sages, and visionaries found inspiration when they turned inward. That same silence, that same source, lives in you. And meditation is the path to touch it. This inner call is not asking you to abandon your responsibilities. It is asking you to live them with depth, with clarity, and with peace. Meditation does not take you away from life. It prepares you to live it fully. It allows you to experience joy, not as a rare visitor, but as your natural state. It teaches you to see beauty, not just in sunsets or mountains, but in every breath, every moment, every human being you meet. So when you feel that quiet restlessness, do not suppress it. Listen to it. That is the soul reminding you of your true home. That is the universe inviting you inward. And once you accept that invitation, your life will no longer be a restless chase. It will become a graceful dance, where every step, every breath, every heartbeat flows in harmony with existence. The true essence of meditation. Meditation is often misunderstood. Many believe it is only about sitting cross-legged, closing your eyes and trying not to think. Others imagine it as something practiced only by monks in faraway mountains. But the truth is much simpler and at the same time far deeper. Meditation is not about escaping life. It is about awakening to life. It is not about controlling your thoughts. It is about learning to see them clearly. The essence of meditation is awareness. It is the art of turning inward and observing the mind without judgment. When you sit quietly and bring your attention to your breath, something profound begins to happen. You notice how restless the mind truly is. Thoughts jump from the past to the future, from fear to desire, from regret to expectation. This endless stream of thoughts has been running all your life, shaping how you feel, how you act, how you live. But until you observe it, you remain its prisoner. Meditation is the practice of stepping out of that prison. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that watches them. Just as the sky is never disturbed by the clouds that pass through it, your true self is never disturbed by the noise of the mind. The more you sit in stillness, the more you realize this. You begin to see that beneath the chaos of your thinking lies a vast, silent space. And in that silence, there is peace, clarity, and strength. When you taste even a moment of this silence, you understand that meditation is not about doing, it is about being. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to strive. You simply allow yourself to rest in awareness, and the deeper truths of life reveal themselves naturally. The stress, the fear, The anger that once ruled your life begin to lose their power. Instead, you discover patience, compassion, and balance. Meditation is like polishing a mirror that has been covered in dust for years. At first, all you see is the dirt, the restlessness, the distractions, the inner noise. But as you continue, the dust begins to fade. And what is revealed is your true reflection, pure, radiant, and untouched. This is why the greatest teachers have always said, know yourself. Because when you know yourself, you know peace. And meditation is the path to that knowing. Remember, the essence of meditation is not found in a technique but in presence. You can meditate while sitting quietly, while walking in nature, even while sipping tea, if you are fully present. The key is awareness, awareness of breath, awareness of body, awareness of life unfolding in this very moment. This is the true essence of meditation, to wake up from the dream of constant thought and to return to the truth of who you are. In that state, life stops being a struggle. It becomes a gift. Unlocking inner peace. The human mind is like a restless ocean. Waves of anger, worry, fear, and doubt rise and fall without pause. One moment you feel calm, and the next, a storm of thoughts shakes your entire being. We often believe that peace will come when everything outside us is perfect, when the bills are paid, when relationships are smooth, when success finally arrives. But the truth is, the outside world will never stop changing. If your peace depends on circumstances, it will always be fragile. Real peace is not found in controlling the waves of life. It is found in going deeper into the stillness beneath them. Meditation is the anchor that allows you to rest in this depth. Imagine a ship caught in a storm. Without an anchor, it is tossed in every direction. But once the anchor is dropped, the ship remains steady, no matter how fierce the winds blow. Meditation is that anchor for the soul. It does not stop the storms of life, but it gives you the strength to stand firm in the middle of them. When you meditate, you begin to notice something remarkable. Behind the noise of your thoughts, behind the chaos of emotions, there is a silence that cannot be disturbed. That silence is your true self. That silence is peace. And once you touch it, you realize it has always been there, waiting for you to return. This peace is not passive. It is powerful. It gives you clarity in confusion, patience in difficulty, and courage in uncertainty. It allows you to respond to life instead of reacting to it. Imagine living each day without being controlled by anger, without being consumed by stress, without being crushed by fear. That is the gift of meditation. It does not change the world around you, but it changes the way you experience it. Think of a glass of muddy water. If you keep stirring it, the mud never settles and the water remains cloudy. But if you let it rest in stillness, slowly the mud sinks to the bottom and the water becomes clear. In the same way, when you sit in meditation, the constant stirring of the mind begins to settle. Clarity appears. Peace arises. And suddenly, the problems that once felt unbearable lose their weight. The beauty of inner peace is that it spreads. When you carry calmness within, it reflects in your words, your actions, and your relationships. You begin to heal not only yourself, but also the people around you. A peaceful person is like a candle in the dark. One flame can light many others without losing its own glow. Meditation teaches us that peace is not something to search for in the future. It is something to awaken to in the present. Right here, right now, in this very breath, peace is available. All you need is the courage to pause, to be still, and to listen, gaining focus and clarity. We live in a world that never stops calling for our attention. Notifications, messages, endless news, constant demands. Our minds are pulled in 100 different directions every single day. No wonder so many people feel tired, scattered, and overwhelmed. A mind that is always distracted cannot find peace, and without peace, there is no clarity. This is where meditation becomes a powerful gift. Meditation sharpens the mind like a blade. It cuts through the fog of confusion and reveals the truth hiding beneath. When you practice sitting in silence and watching your breath, you are training your awareness. You are teaching your mind to stay in one place instead of wandering endlessly. At first, it feels difficult, like trying to tame a wild horse. But with patience, your mind learns to obey. And once the mind is focused, it becomes a powerful tool instead of a restless enemy. Focus is not about forcing yourself to ignore everything else. It is about being fully present with what truly matters in the moment. Imagine holding a magnifying glass under the sun. When the light is scattered, nothing happens. But when the light is focused, it becomes powerful enough to burn through paper. In the same way, when your energy is scattered, you feel powerless. But when your energy is focused, you can achieve the impossible. Meditation gives you this focus. By returning again and again to the breath, to the stillness, you learn to direct your attention where you want it to be, instead of being dragged by every thought or distraction. Slowly, your inner vision becomes clear. You see your goals more sharply. You understand your emotions more deeply. You recognize which paths in life are illusions and which paths are truth. Clarity is one of the greatest gifts meditation offers. Without clarity, even hard work feels empty, because you are not sure where T is leading you. But with clarity, every step becomes purposeful, every action becomes aligned. You stop wasting energy chasing what doesn't matter, and instead you invest your heart into what does. Think about how often people live in confusion, unsure of what they want, reacting to situations instead of creating them. Meditation breaks this cycle. It allows you to step back, to observe, and to see the bigger picture. You realize that many of the things you once worried about are not important. You see opportunities that were hidden before. You begin to trust your intuition, because it is no longer clouded by noise. When your mind is clear and focused, life itself becomes lighter. You no longer feel like a victim of circumstances. Instead, you feel like a conscious creator of your journey. That is the true power of clarity. It gives you freedom. Freedom from confusion, freedom from distractions, freedom from living blindly. Meditation hands you this gift, not in some faraway future, but in every moment you choose to be still, present, and aware. Awakening. Inner strength. True strength has very little to do with how much weight you can lift or how loud your voice can be. Real strength is quiet, steady, and unshakable. It is not about conquering others, it is about conquering yourself. And this is where meditation reveals its greatest power. It awakens the inner strength that has always lived within you. Most people search for strength outside of themselves. They believe it comes from status, wealth, influence, or approval. But the truth is, external power can be taken away at any moment. The only strength that can never be stolen is the one you cultivate inside, the strength of patience, of resilience, of unbreakable spirit. Meditation is the training ground for this strength. When you sit in silence, you begin to face yourself honestly. At first, it may feel uncomfortable. Old wounds, buried fears, and restless thoughts rise to the surface. But instead of running away, meditation teaches you to sit with them. You learn that discomfort does not destroy you, it shapes you. Every moment you stay present with your inner storms, you are growing stronger. Strength is not about avoiding challenges, it is about standing tall in the middle of them. Meditation builds this strength in a subtle but powerful way. It teaches discipline, the discipline to return to your breath when your mind wanders, the discipline to stay calm when life provokes you, the discipline to remain rooted in peace when anger tries to take control. This discipline becomes a foundation, and on that foundation, your resilience grows. Think of a tree standing in the middle of strong winds. The branches may bend, the leaves may shake, but the roots remain unshaken. Meditation deepens your roots. It connects you to a strength that does not depend on circumstances. Whether life brings loss or gain, pain or joy, you remain steady, because your power does not come from the outside. It comes from within. With this strength, you begin to view struggles differently. Challenges are no longer threats. They are opportunities to rise higher. Failures are no longer defeats. They are lessons that refine your wisdom. Even fear loses its grip because you realize that nothing outside you can truly break you if you are strong within. This is why the great sages, warriors, and leaders throughout history turned to silence and meditation. They knew that courage is not born in noise, but in stillness. The battles outside can only be won after the battles within are mastered. Meditation is where you win those inner battles against doubt, against fear, against weakness. And the beauty of this strength is that it does not make you hard. It makes you unshakably soft. You no longer need to prove yourself to anyone. You no longer need to fight for recognition. Your strength speaks through your calmness, your compassion, your ability to remain centered no matter what life brings. Meditation reminds you that you are far stronger than you think, not because life becomes easier, but because you discover that your spirit is limitless. The invitation to awaken. Meditation is not a distant practice meant only for saints, sages, or monks living in silence. It is for you, right here, right now, in the life you are living. It is for the student burdened with pressure, for the parent juggling responsibilities, for the worker battling stress, for the dreamer searching for clarity. Meditation is not about stepping away from life. It is about stepping more deeply into life with awareness, peace, and strength. The true power of meditation lies not in the minutes you spend with closed eyes, but in how those minutes transform the rest of your day. When you learn to breathe with awareness, you begin to speak with kindness. When you learn to sit in stillness, you begin to act with purpose. When you connect with silence, you bring peace into every room you enter. This is the silent revolution of meditation. It changes the world by first changing you. Life will always present challenges. There will always be storms, uncertainties, and moments that test your patience. But meditation equips you with a compass, a center, a home within yourself that cannot be shaken. Imagine living a life where no matter what happens, you carry a calm flame inside you that never dies. That is the invitation meditation offers, a return to your true self. So I ask you now, are you willing to pause? Are you willing to close your eyes, even for a few minutes, and listen? Not to the noise of the world, but to the gentle voice of your soul. The journey may begin with just one breath, but that breath can lead you to a life of clarity, peace, and strength you never imagined possible. You don't need perfect conditions to begin. You don't need special places, incense, or rituals. All you need is yourself, your breath, and the willingness to be present. Begin where you are. Even a single conscious breath can awaken something inside you. Meditation is the reminder that you are more than your worries, more than your struggles, more than the identity the world has given you. You are awareness itself, vast, timeless, unshakable. And when you live from that awareness, life becomes lighter, brighter, and more meaningful. The world outside is waiting for you to awaken, but the truth is, you do not need to wait for the world. The awakening begins within. Every breath, every moment, every day holds the doorway to that awakening. All you need to do is step through. So take the first step. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Listen. The peace you are searching for has always been within you. The strength you need has always been inside you. And the clarity you seek has been waiting patiently in the silence. This is your invitation, not from me, not from the world, but from your own soul. Will you answer it? Meditation is not just a practice, it is a way of life. It is not about closing your eyes for a few moments, it is about opening your inner vision for a lifetime. The true power of meditation lies in the transformation it brings. It takes restlessness and turns it into calm. It takes confusion and turns it into clarity. It takes weakness and turns it into strength. Most importantly, it takes the noise of the world and replaces it with the music of your soul. We often believe that peace, happiness, and strength will come from outside, from success, relationships, or possessions. But meditation reminds us that everything we search for has always been within us. Peace is not hidden in tomorrow. It is alive in this very moment. Strength is not waiting in the future. It is already in your heart. Clarity is not something you need to chase. It is already inside you, covered only by the dust of constant thoughts. Meditation is the gentle hand that wipes away that dust, revealing the brilliance of your true self. The journey of meditation is not about becoming someone new. It is about remembering who you already are. Beneath all the roles you play, student, worker, parent, friend, there is a timeless awareness, a pure presence untouched by fear or doubt. Meditation brings you back home to that presence. And when you live from that space, life changes. Stress loses its grip. Anger fades more quickly. Worries no longer control you. You become centered, grounded, and alive in a way that no external achievement could ever give you. This does not mean life will become perfect or free of challenges. Storms will still come, difficulties will still appear, but meditation gives you the anchor to face them. Instead of being swept away by fear or anxiety, you stand steady like a mountain before the winds. You learn that peace is not the absence of problems, it is the presence of strength and clarity within you. And the beauty of meditation is that it is for everyone. You don't need to belong to a certain culture, follow a strict rule, or escape to the mountains. You can meditate here, now, wherever you are. Every breath can be meditation. Every moment of awareness is meditation. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes, until peace is no longer something you visit. It becomes your permanent home. So let this be the reminder you carry with you. Meditation is not a small act. It is a revolution of the soul. It awakens the peace that cannot be shaken, the focus that cannot be broken, and the strength that cannot be taken away. And once you discover this power within, your entire life begins to reflect it. The invitation is here. The choice is yours. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and begin the journey inward. For within you lies everything you have ever been searching for.